Originally, I came from North Dakota, a very small town, population 126. Today, it's one of the ghost towns in the Dakotas. If you happen to go there, you might see a dog, you might see some chickens, but that's all you're going to see. You're not going to see no people. That's the town I was raised in, you know, right next to the railroad tracks, in a two-story depot. And then we journeyed through life, following my folks. When my mother went to school to learn to be a beautician, a trade, and then we moved again, and I completed high school, started college, and from there I started my journey in the military there. My classrooms in the college all burned down from a major fire. I said, well, I got a little number on the draft, so take me. So me and a bunch of buddies went into service. Well, at every turning point in the service, I said, now what am I going to do? Well, I'm living a pretty good life, so continue on. And when I reached 20, I said, well, now I can retire. Well, I continued service within the government by working with the county and the state in Minnesota. Then eventually, I was eligible to retire from them, so I retired again. So I had to find something to do with my life. So that's where my service continued, by being a community service provider. What appealed to me is service unto others, not self, being unselfish. So basically, one of the, to describe the mission core values is leading generously by giving generously to make a difference within the community on the road of love unselfishly. That's the mission and the core values. Professionally, basically, I look at what are the needs of others, not myself. I give of myself unto others so that they can help themselves, because one of the key things is if a person needs help, they got to take responsibility for helping themselves. I can't solve it for them. I can give them the roadmap. I think the moment of breakthrough in my life was when I attended the banquet of Rise Up, Recovery, Hastings, and I heard all these testimonies from recovering addicts, okay? And God told me, Dean, you got the power to help them. So I went to one of the chief executive officers and I said, listen, you can have my building rent-free to do your mission. And later on, talking it over with my family, he said, just give it to them. Which I quick deeded it to them for free. Once again, I was being unselfish. And they're doing a great service within this community today, helping recovering addicts. One of my highest achievements that I'd look at was being able to look at myself and say, hey, it's not for me, it's for them. There's a young lady in this community that had a major house fire, okay? She no longer can live in her house anymore. So I'm kind of like a caretaker. I go over there and look at the grass and I say, oops, it needs mowing. And the twigs need picked up. So I take care of her property, and she's not there. So that's one of it. And I have other young ladies that give me a call, say, Dean, help me. And I come running, you know. Well, and personally, it's helped me grow in my faith. I didn't have a deep relationship with my higher power prior to that, but once I got started in this, my personal relationship became stronger with him. I look at the ministers within the community, how they minister unto all their people and their flock. The leadership within the community are elected officials. They've all, the mayor, or senators, or representatives, they've provided me inspiration to continue to serve, just like them. They're serving. They're not in it for their benefit. They're there to serve the people. The key thing going through all this within the family, I consulted the family, because I said, I consulted the family, said, this is what I want to do. I want to give away my building, my land, and all the personal property that I have accumulated unto others. And my family basically said to me, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. So what it's going to leave is the legacy of the family, not me, to go forward, to attract and educate our future generations. Personally, like one of the ventures I got involved with, offshoot, is in Dakota City, which is a part of the Dakota County Fairgrounds, is a railroad depot, the Milwaukee Road. The railroad company that my father worked for, and I worked for as a child and junior, we gave them some of them possessions for their depot. Then there's another railroad city being built in Randolph, Minnesota. So the legacy will go forward. Now, I'm getting old, okay? The government says at 72 years old, you've got to start using your IRAs and making required mandatory withdrawals. So we're planning to establish an endowment within, in collaboration, synchronization with one of our local organizations, United Way of Hastings, to give out 2 scholarships to graduating seniors of the local high school that will go on for eternity. So once again, the legacy continues to go forward. We had some really good experiences on the last round of graduates. I got the thank you notes back, and the youth were very appreciative of what we did. One of the legacies is the name of the organization, Boston Swanson, United States Marine Corps veterans that got killed in Vietnam. The building is named Semper Fi, always faithful, which is the motto of the United States Marine Corps. So that was a very nice thing that they did in the name of the building in memory of the 2 Marines from Hastings that made the ultimate sacrifice of their life. And my family's also included in there. So it's the legacy of others going forward. And their legacy is going forward too in this community. They now have another home that they have acquired here in Hastings, not given to them, they had to buy it, called the Province House. Well, that's growing too. All my life I've been kind of over generous, okay? Always giving of myself throughout my whole entire life, okay? Even when I was in the military service for 20 years, I was a first sergeant. My duties was taking care of my people. That was my highest responsibility, taking care of your people. I can't do it on my own. Like I said before, they have to take responsibility for their life. So once they take responsibility for their life, they can work through the difficulties which they may be going through. What I pass on is make sure you share your life story unto others, especially your children, so that they know where you came from, what you went through. Share your story so that your family knows. Too many of us today keep it right in here in our gut. We don't tell our story, so we suffer. We're suffering. And you gotta let it out first to be healed. If I had to summarize one word in my whole life, would be love for what I'm doing. The only advice that I would give to the people, listen. Listen to what is said to you, and then apply it to your life. Listen and see what happens.